Okay, joining me now, member of President George W. Bush's senior White House staff and 30-plus-year veteran of Republican presidential campaigns, Brad Blakeman, liberal commentator and co-chair of Hometown Values PAC, Ethan Behrman. Thank you both for being with us.
Pleasure.
Good evening, Shannon.
Okay, Brad, what do you make about that? The vice president has, in the last couple of days, mentioned that he and Jill are praying, former vice president, praying for the president, praying for the first lady. He says he's going to hold off on his negative attack ads for a little bit. He's still got to be in campaign mode, though.
Absolutely. And look, we appreciate his thoughtful words for the health of the president and the first lady, but he can't hide and use COVID for every excuse of not campaigning. That's the excuse he gave when he was in the bunker and refused to leave and campaign traditionally, and the press covered for that. Now we have another situation where he won't answer policy questions because he says that anything he says about COVID may be misinterpreted as to wish ill against the president. That's nonsense. It's about time that Joe Biden got out of the bunker and answered the tough questions that the president faces every day. You can't win the White House by being in the bunker and hiding. You have to get out there. Absence doesn't make the voter grow fonder.
I don't know. I mean, the polls, if you believe them, Brad, and there are a lot of skeptics out there, show that this is a strategy that's actually worked for the vice president. So let's bring in Ethan here. Ethan, the Trump campaign says the former vice president is actually attacking the president. He is making comments out there that are negative during this time. But again, he's got to continue campaigning, and I'm sure the president is going to do the same as soon as they figure out whether it's going to be virtually, whether he's going to get back out there. We all pray he's well enough to have those choices. But the Trump campaign says the attacks are continuing.
Well, I mean, Brad just made the argument right there for negative attack ads to come back from Joe Biden and for Joe Biden to go after all the grand failures of why did this president mislead the American public, in his own words, on Bob Woodward's tape that has led to over 210,000 Americans dying. Now, sadly, and I am also praying for the president and the first lady and everybody else who has come down in the last few days for their quick recovery. And but these attacks are ridiculous. Joe Biden is out campaigning. He's honorable. He's not doing what Donald Trump did in 2016 when Secretary Clinton was diagnosed with pneumonia and attack. That's what Brad just did. That's not what Joe's doing. Joe's taking the high road and campaigning.
That's what you just did. That's what you
Okay, Brad.
You say that
Brad,
Joe Biden,
I know you're itching to respond.
Joe Biden, you claim, is taking the high road, yet you just took the low road.
I was responding to you, Brad.
No. The president saved a couple million lives. This COVID pandemic is one that occurs in nature, and you use common sense in dealing with it. You don't shut down the country.
That's why Canada hasn't had any new diagnoses, hasn't had any new deaths, because they took a rational scientific approach. That's why all of our Western allies are ahead of the game on this. They're not losing huge percentages of their population. Brad,
Ethan, to Brad's point, the White House was presented with a scenario. We're told that calculated 2.2 million American deaths, and that got a lot of attention. The president, do you give him any credit, Ethan, for the travel bans, for the other steps that they took in the beginning, which were criticized as being xenophobic by a lot of people, including the former vice president?
Those were very small steps. He refused to wear a mask. He paraded around mocking masks. Joe Biden actually put a mask on and demonstrated how the American people should do that. That is one piece of a strategy that should have been done in the first place. The entire Trump family at the debate refused to wear their masks per the Cleveland Clinic. I mean, come on, you guys. Lead by example, and you're not leading by example. You're leading by conspiracy, Brad.
Masks are not...
They're one critical component in the puzzle. If you look at any science, Brad, if you bother looking at science, you'll see how it stops spreading the aerosols, and that's a critical component.
Let's pause it there. And let's remember, we've had experts over the last few months change their positions on this mask thing. So everybody's trying to do their best, I hope, to be responsible. But we have had conflicting and changing advice over the last 6 months, and we'll get more as we learn more. Okay, stick around, guys. We'll pick up where we left off with Brad and Ethan on an update in the race for the White House next.